The 36th Indian Infantry Division was an infantry division of the Indian Army during World War II. The division was subsequently redesignated as a British Army formation, the 36th Infantry Division. It served in India and during the Burma Campaign. After the end of the war it was disbanded and its remaining British units were transferred to the 2nd Infantry Division. History: 36th Indian Division. The division was formed in India on 15 December 1942. Its constituent formations were the 29th Infantry Brigade Group, which had already fought as an independent brigade in the Battle of Madagascar, and 72nd Indian Infantry Brigade, confusingly composed of entirely British combat units. 72nd Indian Infantry Brigade was redesignated the new 72nd Infantry Brigade. Most of the division's engineer, medical and service units were Indian. The division's formation sign was two interlinked rings, one white and one red, on a black square background. In January 1943, Brigadier Francis Festing was promoted from command of the 29th Brigade to that of the division. Parts of the division were present in the First Arakan Campaign in early 1943. It was intended that part of the division was to launch an amphibious assault on Akyab Island, but this operation was cancelled. The division was initially in reserve from the Second Arakan Campaign in early 1944, but was called on to relieve the besieged 7th Indian Infantry Division after early setbacks. After the Japanese were defeated at the Battle of Nakhidauk, 7th Division was withdrawn and 36th Division took over the offensive in the Kalapanzan River Valley. Units of the division captured the vital Eastern Railway tunnel linking the Kalapanzan Valley with the port of Mongdor. But at this point the Arakan offensive was called off to release troops and aircraft for the more important battles of Imphal and Kohima in Assam. The division withdrew for a brief rest at Shillong in Assam, and was then dispatched to Ledo, where it came under command of the American-led Northern Combat Area Command, 36th Infantry Division. Early in July 1944, the division started to fly into Mayat-ki-Ina airfield in North Burma, with 72nd Brigade being the first formation to land. On 1 September 1944, shortly after the division had started advancing down the railway valley from Mograng towards Indore on the right flank of NCAC, the division was redesignated as the British 36th Division. On 14 December, a 3rd Brigade was added to the division. Confusingly, this was the first Indian formation that the division commanded. The division was distinguished for being the only British division to rely entirely on air supply, mainly by the United States' 10th Air Force. For an extended period, the United States Army Air Force also provided the division with 12 light aircraft equipped for casualty evacuation and a U.S. Army engineer company to construct its airstrips. Initially, the division was without its own divisional artillery and instead relied on a Chinese artillery group under U.S. command. The Indian 32nd Mountain Regiment eventually joined the division after carrying its guns by mule for over 400 miles. The division, having linked up with the main body of British 14th Army, crossed the Irrawaddy River and advanced independently down the eastern side of the river. Units from the division suffered losses forcing the crossing the 300-yard-wide Shweli River, but the division continued to advance until the fall of Mandalay in March 1945. On 1 April 1945, the division transferred from NCAC to 14th Army. The 26th Indian Brigade became the 26th British Brigade on 6 April, and the Indian battalions were replaced by British battalions from other Indian brigades by 19 April. As there were now more troops in Burma than could be supplied, the division was returned to India, officially arriving on 12 28th of May, and joined 34th Corps on the 28th of May. Its officially recognized battles were Mandalay 12/13 February, the 21st of March 1945, and Rangoon Road the 1st of April, the 6th of May 1945. In independent India, the division is at Sarghat, Madhya Pradesh, as part of 1st Corps, Southwestern Command. The formation sign is a golden falcon. The division includes the 18th Armoured Brigade and 72nd and 115th Infantry Brigades. Originally intended for raising as a cadre division, it was raised in 1966 at Sarghat as a standard division. The division, like 1st Corps HQ, was within the boundaries of Central Command. Structure: 29th British Infantry Brigade, 1st Battalion, Royal Scots Fusiliers. 2nd Battalion, Royal Welsh Fusiliers. 2nd Battalion, East Lancashire Regiment. 2nd Battalion, South Lancashire Regiment. 2nd Battalion, Queen's Royal Regiment. 1st Battalion, Cameronians. 1st Battalion, Essex Regiment. 72nd British Infantry Brigade, 6th Battalion, South Wales Borderers. 9th Battalion, Royal Sussex Regiment. 10th Battalion, Gloucestershire Regiment. 26th Indian Infantry Brigade, 2nd Battalion, Buffs. 2nd Battalion, 8th Punjab Regiment. 1st Battalion, 19th Hyderabad Regiment. 1st Battalion, 1st Gurkha Rifles. 26th British Infantry Brigade, 2nd Battalion, Buffs. 1st Battalion, Devonshire Regiment. 1st Battalion, Northamptonshire Regiment. Divisional I Infantry D Company. 2nd Battalion, Manchester Regiment. 88th Indian Infantry Company. 2nd Battalion, Leicestershire Regiment. 1st Battalion, 7th Rajput Regiment. 2nd Battalion, Border Regiment. Artillery 130th Field Regiment, Royal Artillery. 178th Field Regiment, Royal Artillery. 145th Field Regiment, Royal Artillery. 158th Field Regiment, Royal Artillery. 8th Field Regiment, Royal Artillery. 32nd Mountain Regiment, Royal Indian Artillery. 12th and 28th Indian Mountain Batteries, Royal Indian Artillery. 122nd Light Anti-Aircraft, Anti-Tank Regiment, Royal Artillery. 122nd Anti-Tank Regiment, Royal Artillery. 59th Light Anti-Aircraft Regiment, Royal Artillery.